What up? What's happening, good people? Welcome to this episode of the Herb Howard Show. I am Herb Howard. Appreciate you for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, share while you are hanging out with us. We got a few things to get into. Of course, we're gonna go around the league. We're gonna spend 10 good minutes with my brother Gino. He's gonna give me a salt bug. But first, let's talk about these Bears, man. They did what they needed to do. They started out 0-2. It was looking bad. It was looking real bad. They had an opportunity to go get to 2-2 before the bye. They did it. Took care of business at home against the Cowboys last week. Then we said they had an opportunity to go out there and do the same in Vegas versus the Raiders. They did just that. Went out to Vegas, took care of business. Shout out to the Bears fans, man. Before I go any further, the Bears fans travel so well and have the ability to take over anybody's stadium. I was saying all day, walk in your trap, take over your trap, and that's what the Bears fans did. Let's go Bears, let's go Bears, all through the stadium, throughout the game. No doubt it had an impact. No doubt it made things tough on the home team when they had the ball. So shout out to Bears Nation for handling y'all business, man. Y'all definitely made a difference out there. Also making the difference was the takeaways. Takeaway after takeaway after takeaway. Now sometimes when you get 4 takeaways like that, and by the way, it's the second game in a row the Bears got 4 takeaways. Let's just start. That's an early stat from Suge, but 4 takeaways. They did it against the Cowboys. Tremaine Edmonds had 2 picks. Kevin Byard had a pick. And Tyreek had the takeaway on that first drive. This week, Kevin Byard, 2 picks. Reek, another pick. And then the Bears forced a fumble as well. That was a bit of a group effort from Billings, Noah Sewell, Montez Sweat, and Tyreek recovered it. So 4 takeaways. And these were real legitimate takeaways. Sometimes when you get 4 turnovers, they're not always legit takeaways, right? Somebody dropped the ball, somebody threw it right to you. You think about how Will Levis threw, Tyreek Stevenson that pick six week 1 last year, those types of things. These were all takeaways. These were all plays being made by really good players. Kevin Byard was all over the field. He read the first one, jumped in front of it, picked it, took it back like 30, 40 yards, set the Bears up inside of their own, on plus territory, plus side of the field. I'm going to get into that too because offense was, but he comes back again later. Kevin Byard, full extension on the interception, pick. Tyreek, full extension coming across the field on a pick. Great read, great coverage. He talked about being in film study, understanding what route the receiver could run from where he was at. Took a chance on it, laid it out. He got the pick. Who else got a pick? Reek, Kevin Byard had 2. Was it another pick or was it a fumble? It was a fumble. That was Andrew Billings. Penetrate. Hit the running back in the backfield, stood him up. Noah Sewell come through, hit him again, punch it out. Montez keep the ball alive on the ground. Reek come get it. So these were all legitimate takeaways. It wasn't like the Raiders were just giving the ball away. They was playing sloppy with the football. They weren't. Legitimate takeaways. So shout out to the Bears for doing that. Offensively, they were not taking advantage of these opportunities, though. They kept getting set up in plus territory on the other team's side of the field, and they were not cashing it in. 4 field goals, you give Cairo all the credit in the world, being 4 for 4 and doing what he needed to do. But you got to turn those into touchdowns. When you playing that kind of defense, you got to put points on the board so you can be dominating on the scoreboard the way it seems you're dominating on the field. That's what happened to them week 1 in Minnesota when they had J.J. McCarthy locked up. They had Justin Jefferson locked up, but they weren't cashing in. And so all it took them boys was 1 quarter to get their life together, and then they snatched the win from you. Same thing could have happened to the Bears on Sunday in Vegas. Fortunately for them, they were able to get the offense going a little bit in the second half. Caleb Williams was able to put together a few drives, including the game-winning drive when they went down the field. Ultimately, it was capped off by DeAndre Swift, the run around the left side. And then Josh Blackwell, my boy, JB. I love JB, man. He has turned into a special teams ace. I remember talking to JB, I think his rookie year, when he started to see that, like, oh, he can really impact the game on special teams. I asked him if he knew who Sherrick McManus was, and he was like, nah, I don't know who Sherrick McManus is. I was like, well, look up who Sherrick McManus is. I don't know if he ever looked it up or not. I got to ask him one day this week. But he's starting to have that type of impact on the Bears every single week, just in terms of what he's able to do in the kicking game. He got a tip from long snapper Scott Daly about a telltale sign from the Raiders long snapper about when he was going to snap the ball. You could see Josh Blackwell get down in the sprinter stands. He saw the key he was looking for. He took off. Game-winning field goal, blocked it. Bears win 25-24. They are 2-2. They are on a bye. They need to get healthy. They need to self-scout. They need to get healthy and self-scout. They'll do those things, get some players back, hopefully. And then it'll be Monday night in Washington trying to exercise some demons from what happened out there last year. Got to take a quick break. When we come back, Gino going to give me a sawbuck, going to chop it up about what he saw, what he felt. He was also out in Vegas. That'll be coming up right after this.
Look, welcome to Plants on the Gridiron. It's Chicago's first and only plant-based tailgate.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like. Bigger world, baby.
And here's what we love. It is Chicago's most unique event. We combine health, we combine sports, love of football, and you gotta bear down. Chicago Bears, baby.
The community coming together and just enjoying some really good plant-based food. There's people here that are meat eaters, there's people here that are fully plant-based, and we can come together as a community and just really have an impactful event.
Because we are Chicago homegrown. Come late, the food gonna be gone.
I am the Sumo, Morgan Park, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
This is Jason Kidd, and we're rocking with the Bigs.
I'm Chris Bryant from the Chicago Cubs, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
What's up, y'all? This is Kyrie Irving. You're tuned into the Bigs.
What's happening is Dame Lillard, a.k.a. Dame Dollar, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
What's up? This is D Rose, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
This is Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks. You're rocking with the Bigs.
Welcome back inside the big studio. My name is Herb Howard. This is the Herb Howard Show. Shout out to everybody that is checking in. We truly, truly appreciate y'all. We want to hear y'all comments. We want to hear what y'all thought about the game. So make sure you put your comments in there. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I like to call this segment Give Me a Sawbuck, where I spend 10 good minutes, usually with my brother Gene. Came out to Vegas, man. Another trip in the books, huh?
Woo-wee. Go to Sam, man. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Wasn't a lot happening on our side.
No, we chilled out.
We did see a Bears W.
Shout out to my guy Jason Leisure, man. He
Leisure is crazy.
He worries about me, man. He thinks in certain cities, you know, the Vegas is the Atlantas of the world, that I might get in get myself in some trouble. So we do some work. We do some work differently before the game, and so I wasn't up in the press box as early as Jason thought I should be, and so he was calling and text like, "Are you okay? Did you die in Vegas last night? Are you not good or what?" So I'm like, "Jay, I'm good, man. I didn't actually do nothing though. Like I was just chilling. I didn't do anything at all. I went out one night, but not the night before the game. I was chilling. And then the night after the game when everybody was kicking it, I definitely didn't do nothing. Shout out to Lance Briggs. He hit me. Like, yo, come outside. I'm like, yeah, no, bro. I'm tucked all the way in this bed. That man said, you like a blanket with a head on it. I said, that's kind of how I feel, but I'm good. So I was chilling. Vegas didn't really see me like that.
Vegas owes us nothing, man.
Nah.
We came in, got the job done, did what we had to do, and we worked hard, man. But again, it's tough to win a NFL football game, but it's extremely tough to win one on the road. So
yeah, man.
Shout out to the Bears. Shout out to Ben Johnson for going into that bye week 2-2. But want to go back to my keys to a Bears victory, which you touched on most of them in your opening. But number one, I don't think you touched on, and this is what we talked about for probably the first 45 minutes of the game.
That man.
Max Crosby.
That man.
And I talked about Ben Johnson's schemes on stifling Max Crosby.
Right.
And you looked at me after the very first play.
Yeah.
And you said there's absolutely no way that you're gonna stop this man one-on-one.
No. And you got to accept that, right? Like, do you want to spend do you want to put two players on one guy? No, you'd rather not have to do that. But you got to accept it. It is what it is. The man is that good. You don't have anybody that can deal with him. So if you got a Tristan Wirfs or one of these other elite tackles, maybe you can. But your starting right tackle, Darnell Wright, is out of the game. So you already got Theo Benedetto over there. You end up moving Ali Trapillo over there when you thought that Braxton Jones wasn't playing well enough, so you took him out. Like, you have an elite pass rusher that makes plays all over the field. You just got to do what you got to do. And I saw the Bears doing things that just, to me, it didn't make sense with Max Crosby being who he is. First of all, the one-on-ones. Every time I was one-on-one, I was calling that. He one-on-one,
he got in there every time.
He's finna wreck this play, right? Whether he gets the sack, the hit, or he just moves the quarterback off the spot, flushes him out the pocket. Like, he's going to destroy this play if he's one-on-one. He did that every single time. But then they also had times where they ran a read option and chose not to block him. Said, we're not going to block him. We're just going to read him. He's too good for that. He took out both of y'all. Like, well, don't worry about this. I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Then remember the one play, he started on one side of the field. They flushed Caleb out to the other side of the field.
I'm over there, too.
He ended up catching him and running him out of bounds on that side of the field.
I'm over there, too. Shout out to Caleb after the game. He said, hey, that's the best player I ever played against, Joe. And watching the game, you could see how he felt that way because 98 was constantly in his face.
Brother, he single-handedly almost got the Raiders a W. It was amazing, man. I've watched a lot of football. I saw Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of outstanding
It's a really good
guys.
performance, man.
Max Crosby is top tier, man. He was unbelievable.
I got to grade it on a curve due to the competition level. The Bears don't have great tackles right now.
Okay.
But even still, just watching what he was doing, no matter who the other guy was insane. He was all over the field. Shout out to Max Crosby. I asked Coach Johnson about that in his Monday press conference. I asked him, I said, Coach, I'm sure y'all had an emphasis on, having a plan for 98 and y'all prepped that all week long.
Did he call you crazy?
Not in so many words. You know what I mean? Like, okay. I think that crazy thing, I think me and Coach are not on the same page right now with going back to him calling me crazy and then me coming back with the petty episode of the Herb Howard Show and like, well, I must have been crazy as hell because them boys smacked y'all around the field up in Detroit. But
they did.
Anyway, I don't think Coach rocking with me right now, but it's cool. It ain't got to be lovey-dovey. I'm just talking football with you. Yeah. I asked him, about the plan that they have for Max Crosby, and was there something they could have had better in terms of game plan or mostly just execution? And he pointed to the fact that they did better against him in the second half and kind of left it at that. So we'll see, man. But there's not a whole lot of Max Crosby's, but every team does have a guy, and the Bears play these teams, right? So they still got the Eagles and Jalen Carter. They got the Browns and Myles Garrett. They've got to deal with some of these guys. So we'll see how it goes and what the plan is for each week of how they go about it.
Key number 2.
Yeah.
The continued trust in Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
We talked about that as well, and I remember one play you specifically pointed out about the trust and whether the trust is there or whether it'll be taken away. And I think it might have been like 3rd and 9, and they were probably on like the 35 or 36. Caleb ends up taking a sack on a ball that he probably should have gotten rid of way before he took the sack, taking the guys out of field goal range.
Yeah.
They end up having to punt the ball. So
that's what the trust is about. When you talk about trust between play caller and quarterback, it's situational trust. Can I trust you in certain situations for me to be able to make a call that says, okay, I can go conservative here and just run the ball and make sure we get the field goal. Or I can try to get the first down if I trust my quarterback to make a good throw or at least to not make a negative play and get sacked. I talked about that with Caleb last week, and he talked about, it's growing, it's developing. I think he's starting to trust me a little bit more in certain situations. That's not going to help, man. It happened quick. The pressure happened quick. I'm not saying he wasn't under quick pressure. I'm saying coming into the situation, you have to know. And I bet that Coach Johnson probably was in his ear when he was calling, hey, we can't take a sack here, right? You got to understand that coming into the play. I don't care how quick the pressure is. I got to find a way to get this ball out. I got to be thinking before the ball is even snapped, okay, where is my hot read? Where can I get this ball out of my hand? Even if it's not a completion, I can just throw it at somebody, general vicinity. And he wasn't able to do that, and it knocked him out of field goal range. It cost him points, and that could have cost him a game.
You talked about the offense as a whole. 3 turnovers, and you don't turn any of them into 6. They finally got the 4th and ended up turning that one into 6, but the offense was sputtering. And Caleb, I think he only took 1 sack. I think he threw 1 pick. He was pressured a lot.
Yeah.
But like you said, stayed in it, continued to believe in the schemes, continued to believe in himself, continued to believe in his guys, ultimately resulting in the game-winning drive. DeAndre Swift with the 4-yard TD run. And obviously Josh Blackwell coming off the edge. JB, glad he got the ball, game ball, man. He was extremely happy. I could see the look on his face when you were talking to him.
That's my dude,
inside the locker room. So happy for JB.
That's my dude.
And man, tell my boy, where am I? Here? I'm gonna tell him. Am I here? I'm here. J.O., my bad, dog. My bad, brother. It's been a minute. I ain't seen y'all in a few weeks. I accidentally called him KB.
Oh.
Now, I haven't talked to Keith Byard at all.
Kevin,
let's look at me.
It's okay.
Sounded like T back there.
That's okay.
I called him KB when he was walking out. He let it slide.
He let it ride?
He knows players make mistakes too. Players mess up too. But J.O., my bad, brother. J.O., my bad, brother.
Shout out to J.O., man. Other thing that was important coming into the game was something was going to have to give. Either the Raiders' running game was going to get on track, which they had not done all season long, or the Bears' run defense was going to get on track, which they had not done all season long.
So let me stop you there.
Yeah.
Because you called it again. I don't know what Herb and his football takes, man.
Do you see the name on the show? Do you see that?
Well, we gave you the name, though.
Y'all did. But y'all did it for a reason.
That's true.
Y'all hired me for a reason.
Yep, that's true, too.
Okay, come on.
But you called it, man. You said this was going to be the Ashton Jeanty game. It's like this guy's been bottled up for the first 3 weeks of the season. A guy that talented is definitely not going to continue to go out like that.
No.
And why not against a team that's giving up 5 to 6 yards a pop?
Listen, it's beautiful to get 4 takeaways in a football game. That's as good as you can hope for. But as bad as you can ever hope for is to give up 240 rushing yards. That man Jeanty was everywhere. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 receiving, 1. Like, it was insane. They couldn't do nothing with him. He popped off a 64-yard touchdown run early. Like, I'm going to be here. Y'all going to have to deal with this. He has more speed than the Bears thought he has. He has more power in his legs than the Bears thought he had. Talking to Kevin Byard in his press conference on Monday, I asked him about the angle that he took on that 64-yard run. He was like, man, I thought I took a good angle, to be honest with you. He's like, he had more burst than I expected. And then his power on his high knees was just like, I thought I could get him. He's like, I get cats down on that all the time. He's like, the power through his legs was just, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. So, yeah, he was definitely more than the Bears thought he was, and they had a problem with him all game long. The Bears got to clean up their run defense. Now, we can talk about T.J. Edwards not being there, but I think Noah Sewell's played pretty good football individually. Talk about Kyler Gordon not being there. Obviously, we can talk about Jalen Johnson not being there. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to stop the run. That's just the bottom line. The Bears have not been able to stop the run at all. If they don't get that together, they're not going to have a great deal of success throughout the season.
Shout out to the Crib, man.
Shout out to the Crib.
Shout out to the Crib, man. The Crib came down there and represented. Good thing they were able to represent with a W. A lot of times we go to these different cities, we go down
Whole city come out.
Get smacked around, end up fighting, end up coming home with a sour taste in our mouths. Pause.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Crib took over, man. We heard Let's Go Raiders chants. Bears fans were not hearing that at all. All you heard was Let's Go Bears fans throughout Allegiant Stadium. So shout out to the Crib.
Walk into your trap, take over your trap. Inside the beautiful palatial Allegiant Stadium with the nightclubs in it and all that, man.
Yeah, they gave us
access to the clubs and all that.
Yeah.
Inside the stadium that was popping afterwards. We ain't go, but it was cracking in there though.
Thanks for the access, Al Davis and company.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. Got to take another quick break. When we come back, we will go around the league. We'll check in on some key stats from Suge as well, and we're gonna tease a new segment. Buddy ass was tweaking. We've been wanting to get this segment in for a minute. There's always something going on that's just very, very tweaked. Around the league, stats with Suge, Buddy ass tweaking. Next. Welcome back to the Herb Howard Show. Hey, man, I got to say something to all y'all, because the pause thing, they've been coming at me so hard on ever since that one episode. And then right at the end of the game yesterday, I tweeted out when Josh Blackwell blocked the field goal. I said, they beat this shit. Bears win. And whole Twitter, whoa, pause. I'm starting to think it's a conspiracy. And I think y'all in on it, because y'all always recording and putting out when I say something. Nobody catches y'all with the egregious stuff y'all say, because what P said right before we went live today was probably one of the more egregious things that has ever been said in the history of pause. I'm not even gonna repeat it. It's so crazy, but it's just not just me. Y'all gotta stop that. But I don't care. It's cool. It's funny. Listen, let's go around the league, man, with some of the games I thought was important. First of all, I told y'all, as long as my boy JF1 is playing, we are going to talk about the Jets. They are 0-4, though. They lost again to the terrible Miami Dolphins. 21-27 was the final score in Miami. Godspeed to Tyreek Hill, man. He dislocated his knee. If you haven't seen the video, shoot, maybe you don't even want to see the video, to be honest with you. It was disgusting. He seemed to be in shock, maybe, or in good spirits as he was exiting the field, but certainly wish him the best, which is in what's going to be a significant and probably long recovery for Tyreek Hill, likely out for the season. Eagles went to the Bucs, two teams that are playing really, really good football, finding ways to win the close games. They played each other. Eagles again, 31-25. They just keep finding ways to win games, man. They just keep finding ways to win games. I think Jalen Hurts threw for like 120 yards or something like that, but they still just keep finding ways to win the football game. A.J. Brown is getting a little upset, though. Star wide receiver A.J. Brown is getting a little upset. Like I said, Jalen Hurts threw for 120 yards. A.J. Brown isn't getting the targets. He isn't getting the receptions, the yards, the touchdowns. He wants all of those things. He's one of the best receivers in the league. He wants to be used as such. Pretty hard to complain when your team just keeps winning. I think they won 21 out of 22 games. They're the Super Bowl champs. So you seem selfish when you're like, man, I'm not getting the ball, but like, we winning the game, bro. Calm down. But I kind of get it. He wants to be remembered as one of the best receivers to play this game. He's not really getting the opportunities to do that right now, but they are winning. He ended up putting out a tweet from a Bible verse, something to the likes of, if they're not going to use you, if they don't want you there, just be at peace with it and dip. I figure they'll work it out. He said some things similar to that last year. They still won a Super Bowl. They'll figure it out. He's been paid. They keep winning games, but that's something to keep your eye on as the season goes along. Huge game, Ravens at Chiefs. Both of these teams with their Super Bowl aspirations struggling early, but they had to play each other. It was out at Arrowhead in Kansas City, and Chiefs took care of business, man. Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes. He threw a couple of darts for touchdowns. The Ravens continue to struggle. Lamar Jackson, King Henry, they all just not really in sync right now, and it's starting to get a little late. When they were 1-2, you're like, maybe. 1-3, it's starting to get a little late. They really need to get this thing going. One in their own division, the Steelers are playing really good football right now. So they're losing a little bit of ground in their own division, but also just other teams. They're definitely looking like they're going to have to be a wild card team. They're going to be going on the road against some of these teams. They've gone on the road to the Chiefs and lost. They've gone on the road to the Bills and lost. So I don't know, man. I'm not counting the Ravens out. Love Lamar Jackson, love Coach Harbaugh, but it's getting a little late in the season for them to be playing bad football the way they are. Vikings at the Steelers. Steelers pulled it off. Like I said, 21-24. They continue to play really good football led by Aaron Rodgers and Coach Mike Tomlin. Steelers on a bit of a revival. What that does for the Bears, though, Vikings are 2-2. The Lions are 3-1. And then you got the Packers, who are 2-1-1 after they went to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Homecoming, return game for Micah Parsons. Big thing after the Cowboys traded him to the Packers. It was the biggest story coming into the season. Everybody heard about it. He goes back there, plays the Dallas Cowboys in a shootout. Neither defense played well. 40 points put on the board. They did go to overtime to get the 40 points, but it was 40 points nonetheless. Micah Parsons did end up getting a sack late in the game when he chased down Dak Prescott and tackled him for no gain, which is officially a sack. So he did get a sack. Dak didn't think he had got a sack. He didn't give me for a sack. And they was like, no, they gave him a sack on that. It was like, whatever, he can have it. But pretty much a wash. But that game leads me right into the very first buddy-ass tweaking. Hey, listen to me. NFL, come here. You cannot let dudes play football for 4 or 5 quarters and don't nobody know who won the damn game. NFL ties are ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Find a way to finish the game. I don't care if you got to do it like college does it, and you can play the whole overtime period first if you want. That's cool. But after that, just put the ball at the 25 and go until you have a winner. These dudes putting it all on the line. Guys out here dislocating knees. Guys out here breaking their neck, literally, right? Godspeed to Matabuke from the Ravens defensive tackle. Like, guys out here putting it on the line to win a game. And then you got to tell them go home with this empty, I don't know how to feel feeling because it's tied 40-40. Hell, Jerry Jones wanted to win the damn game. He don't like the tie either. Y'all got to do better than that, man. Y'all can't have these NFL games ending in ties no more. Next season, do away with the ties. Find a way to figure out how the games are going to end. The tie is no bueno. I don't know if they're going to go baseball, go all home run derby at the end of the All-Star game or what. But this ain't going to do it. No more ties in the NFL. It's disgusting. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Like how y'all fixed the rule where everybody gets the ball at least one time. That helps. But now go ahead and finish it, man. This 10-minute quarter and nobody's going 10 minutes, everybody just go home. That's bullshit. Y'all asses tweaking. We got to get out of here, man. We'll be back later in the week. Talk more Bears. It is their bye week, but keep it right here with Herb Howard, with the Herb Howard Show. Make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you share with at least one Bears fan that enjoys talking Bears, enjoys talking football. We do that here. Shout out to the team doing all of the hard work behind the scenes. Shout out to Stats from Suge. The Bears finally got off the snap. The Bears hadn't won a game in which they had given up 23 points since, I think, 2001. Finally, they've done that. Shout out to Matt Spiegel, too, from 670 Scores. He's the first person I heard mention that stat. So I want to give him his props to that. Shout out to you, Spigs. But shout out to Suge on the stats. We got to go. Shout out to Pete doing all the hard work behind the camera. Shout out to T for bossing me around. Even in this very moment, I don't even know why he's yelling at me, but he's doing it. So apparently I got to go. Appreciate Jane for giving me a salt, but I'm Herb Howard. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.